Hello, everybody. Welcome to Smell the Glove. This is the best show to be able to find out how bad of a slump Celtic are in. Is that fair? What do you think, guys? Are we in a slump? Or would you like to be on this kind of scoring slump where you win like 19 out of 20 games? Anyone? Anyone at all? If it was a slump, if that's a slump, I want to be in that kind of slump the rest of my life. How about you?
I don't know, man. Like the early 1990s.
Oh, wait. Is that Paulie D?
No, it's Rev. That's me. I'm back.
That's identity fraud.
Well, wait a second. You both of you guys now own season tickets to MLS, so I don't know who's who anymore.
We do. We do, man.
One.
Rev, how you doing, Bubba?
What's going on?
What's going on? And we have a full house. Bat and cleanup? Honey Boo Boo.
Hail, hail.
Hail, hail. So I understand last week we had a little issue with some audio. And if you know anything about our beloved St. Paulie D, he is definitely our, how would you put this, Paula, a techno, not geek, but like really, really good with this stuff and audio, media, editing, and it sucked last week.
No, I just moan a lot. I just moan when things go wrong. I just can't believe Celtic have won 13 games in a row. I think that's a shocking bit of form. You know what I mean? 13 in a row. Or was it? How many games in a row we won?
Oh shit! Yeah, 10, 12, 13.
We drew, didn't we?
That's what. Oh yeah, because I think it was Bet365 put up our record. But no, because we've got I saw somewhere else that we're in the lead for most number of wins in a row in Europe at the moment. We're just above Chelsea.
There you go.
Oh really?
So somewhere else.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think what it is just like at the moment we've had so many home games. I mean, like I almost want to ask who we're playing tomorrow because it just seems like every day we've got a home game at the moment, right before Christmas.
Right.
I think people are being
9 games this month.
Going out in the cold and rain, blah blah blah. There's too many games at the moment, and I think that's why people are kind of complaining because we're maybe not putting in the performances. But I'll take not putting in the performances and winning rather than playing well and getting beat. What about you guys?
Oh Jesus, yeah. Without a doubt.
All day, every day.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Rev, would you take 10 or 15 MLS wins in a row, winning 1-0?
Yeah, I mean a win's a win at the end of the day. Yeah, you're putting yourself. You're getting the points and you're getting the position on the table. That's what really counts.
Cool. So let me ask you this. So is it fair for us to be for some to be unhappy with the way things are going right now, not winning games, or as Super Scoreboard says, Celtic are in a slump because we're not beating teams 4 and 5-0?
The only slump we have is like there's certain players who, because of their youth, we've said this numerous times in the show, right? A young player, unless they're absolutely exceptional, will never stay in form for 40 games a season. There's going to be slumps when they're in their form, and it doesn't mean they're playing badly, they just play not as well. Young Dembele, Paddy Roberts, two of those guys who are probably not playing at their peak at the moment, on a basis that maybe a bit tired. You know, they don't have that kind of knowledge and experience to stay in the game for 40 games a season. If those two could play at their peak for 40 games, they'd be worth fucking 50 million each, you know what I mean? So some of our best players aren't playing at their best ability, and we've had a very inconsistent team over the few days. I think that's the main thing. But talking about like how fickle some Celtic fans are and how undecided we are, did you go on any forums after the game to look at man of the match?
No, I can't. I can't do that. I want to shoot myself. Going on forums, it's bad enough. It's bad enough. Okay. It's bad enough watching the Facebook thing when they say that Chowdhury was better than Gamboa. I'm like, I quit.
Right, that's pish for a start. Now, looking at Radio Street, just one forum. Right? One forum has a thread on Henderson, right? And there's guys in it saying Henderson's never good enough. He's terrible. He's a Hibs player. He'll never make it as a Celtic player. He was absolutely appalling today. He's the worst player in the pack. And then there's another thread, which is man of the match thread, where people are voting their 1, 2, and 3 top stars of the game, and he's pretty much in everyone's 3, and he got voted man of the match at Celtic Park. So
Yeah.
who's right and wrong here? I don't think he had a good game.
No,
But there's some people that watch the game and think people are amazing, and some people watch the game and obviously think they're shite. And they're all from the same support. So I don't know. You can't please everyone at once by the look of it.
no, I think it's crazy. I really do.
Today.
Yeah, if you go onto a couple of Facebook forums, it's just absolutely just that alone, it's crazy. It really is. To say that Gamboa is worse than Chowdhury, dude, what are you drinking? What are you smoking? Seriously, I mean,
Another one. People constantly giving Gordon grief. Would you not say that Gordon's first touch in passing has rapidly improved? You think yes?
oh Jesus, it's crazy. Did you see the meme that I don't know who put it up there, where not the meme, the GIF where the guy actually said, "No problem, coach, I got this. Hey, can you do this for me?" And someone passed it back to him. He chested it down and took it one time and hit it back over the defender's head. Gordon had the ball played back to him by Lustig. He chested it and then one timed it on a full volley back to Lustig and dinked out and dinked the defender. Like, I don't remember that guy being here last year.
I think he's got a lot better. And when a manager comes in, points out your faults of your game, and you go away and get better at that, and rapidly better, I don't think you should really complain about the player. And the pelters he's taken is unreal. I mean, if you read some of the posts, you'd have thought we just got pumped 5-0 today.
Well, let me ask you this: What do you think? Does anyone think of any? Can you think of anything that Gordon did wrong today?
He didn't score any
Really?
goals.
He didn't score any goals.
Yeah, no goals.
Well, Rev, you're right on that one. You're right on that one. He didn't score any goals today. I mean, in all seriousness, like, what did he do wrong today? I can't.
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything.
No, I mean, of the one time he came out correctly. He's playing from on top of his box. He's playing from above his box and not on the shadow of the crossbar. I mean, I like where he's playing. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, even
Arctic had a couple of one-on-ones today that he stopped.
Yeah, he did have. He had a one-on-one to his right today. The kid should have scored. That's exactly correct. And even the goal he gave up on Saturday was a deflection, which he looked like he had. Chris, what'd you say?
when Sissel had the one breakaway to his left, and there was a gasping for air or whatever. I was like, oh no, and he made himself big, and the guy missed it. But I mean, Gordon just came up as just a big beast, and the guy missed it because of it. So yeah, I mean, he hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah, how about Saturday when it was 2-1 and there's like a one-on-one the last second, the guy gets through? How many of you screamed really bad words at the TV? Like, no, fuck, no. Oh, shit, I can't believe you missed that.
Yeah.
Screaming, no.
Even Jim Craig on Celtic TV even said he was just like, he's making himself really big when he needs to, and that's the kind of performance you want out of your keeper. So, my hat's off to him, but just like what Paul said earlier, this is not the same Craig Gordon from last year.
No,
So,
or from the beginning of the season.
Well, yeah, or from the beginning of the season for sure.
So, hey, Rev, let me ask you a question. What did you think of Griffith's free kick on Saturday?
Say that again?
What did you think of Griffith's free kick on Saturday?
It's good to have him back.
Here's a question for you guys. With that, the goal and everything else he's done, I guess the first game he scored, he hasn't scored in he scored the last 3 games, not today. But how many of you feel that he's really pushing Brendan right now? Paul, what do you think? Do you think he's pushing Brendan at all?
I think he is. I think he's doing well. I think, to be honest with you, I probably would play Griffiths ahead of Dembele at this very moment. I think Dembele has got a lot of potential, and he's been playing very well. But over the last little bit, I think he's could probably do a couple of games on the bench just to kind of recuperate. And it's kind of strange how he's been working them. It doesn't seem that he hasn't been giving them a full game. Like, I expected him to drop a guy, then leave him off for a full game, but he seems to be subbing them quite quickly, maybe about 70 minutes in.
Yeah, 70, 75, yep.
Really giving about 20 minutes off the bench to players, yeah. So I don't know, maybe it's that kind of, Messi always had that idea that a game for him was better than a training session, and if he was tired during the week he would just not train and just play the game rather than that. So maybe it's that idea of just keeping them fresh, keeping them in the mix, but because I think managers previously would have just put the guy in the stands, said right, go and take a seat for a game. But I don't know. I think he's doing well. I think it's a great option to have 2 guys that can score goals. If one's not playing well, you put them off and give the other guy a 20-minute run. If the Rangers game is tomorrow, it'll be a tough one.
That's the big one, isn't it?
Maybe still go with Dembele.
Now here's the question. Here's the question, Paul. Why?
I think Griffiths is more effective off the bench, so I'd play Dembele to begin with, and if things weren't going right, Griffiths is more likely to come on and get you a goal. I think that anyway.
If you look at the cup semi-final, right? That's Griffiths comes on, plays wide, feeds Dembele scores. You guys there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's what I mean. That's a tough one.
Dembele's more of an athlete.
A lot more physical. Yep. I did. Did you guys listen?
Would you go with 2 up front?
No, I would not. I wouldn't go with 2 up front only because I don't think they could handle the width and the speed. Does anyone know? Has anyone heard when Forrest gets back?
No idea.
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Are we the most misinformed podcast ever?
Yeah. Actually, that's because we don't talk football; we talk pish. But that's beside the point. No, I just don't know. I mean, I don't. I'll put it this way, and I think.
No, I've not heard, but.
Paul, I think it's this. I think part of the commentary about us Celtic playing the way they are and at the speed they are and how much of a slump they're in now. I mean, you got to understand they relied a lot on Forrest at the beginning of the season. They have they're missing Tierney out of the back, which may or may not be a good thing right now. I mean, you're playing those games. You played a bunch of those games without. Scott Sinclair. That you play a lot of games without Simonovic playing every game because he's coming back from his injury. So I mean, there's a lot to this. That there's a lot of unsettledness within that team, and they're still getting results. And that's why I'm probably a little bit more at ease right now with the way things are with this group of players and this team than I would have been last year in a 1-0 win at home versus Thistle. Agree, disagree? Anyone?
I think I agree, but my idea, I kind of suggested this to a few people down the Montreal CSC, is I think the changes are hurting us because we're shuffling the team quite a lot, where I think that we've got such a strong squad at the moment that you could have literally an A team and a B team, where if we had a game on a Saturday and a game on a Tuesday, on the Saturday play your strongest 11, and then on the Tuesday play an entirely different 11 key players. Do you not think that our second 11 could probably get a result?
Oh yeah.
So
without a doubt.
Who would your second 11 be at the moment? Technically at the moment Tierney's out, so Izagiri would probably be your first left back. And your second left back, I assume, at the moment would be this young Calvin Miller. He done well today considering he looked knackered after 20 minutes. So your starting centre backs would be what, Simonovic and Sviatchenko? Would we agree on that?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, right. So your two other centre backs at the moment, probably on effectively the American style depth chart, would be Kolo Toure and you've got O'Connell and you've got Boyata. I'd probably put O'Connell ahead of Boyata.
I would, yeah.
Would that be fair?
That's fair.
Yes.
Okay, so we're starting right backs Lustig. So our second right back would be Gamboa. So we've got a back four of Miller, Kolo Toure, O'Connell and Gamboa. At the moment, probably your midfield two is Brown and Armstrong. Is that right? Yeah, Brown and Armstrong, probably in the two. So you've got
Baton and McGregor.
Maybe Henderson and McGregor.
Or Baton and McGregor.
Yeah. Then a Baton and McGregor, did you say, right? And then you've got right wing is Paddy Roberts, so you'd probably say second right wing would be James Forrest. Middle at the moment is Tam Rogic.
Or Henderson.
Who would our second? You could put Henderson in there.
Put Henderson there.
I'm actually thinking on a later note that I don't think Henderson's going to evolve as a player going forward that much. I think that's where he's fallen short at the moment. Is his final ball in the final third. But you could say he's there at the moment. Who else? Well, we've got Gary Mackay-Stevens as a backup to Sinclair on the left.
Yep.
Then you've obviously got Dembele and Griffiths up front.
Mm-hmm.
So either one of those two. So you say Griffiths is the second one at the moment. I think that's a good enough team to beat Partick Thistle. And then the question mark is your man De Vries in goals, but I don't think the goalie really needs to be dropped. But would you do an entirely different team, or would you do it like Brendan Rodgers is doing at the moment?
Personally, I'd feel, obviously not as comfortable, but I'd still feel fairly confident with, a second squad like that with those players.
My thinking of it is that, like, it doesn't jumble up the team as much. And it's like, you just say to those guys, right, you tell them in advance, right, see you 11 guys, you're playing on Tuesday, you just focus on Tuesday in Partick Thistle. Don't worry about Saturday, just worry about Tuesday. And it kind of keeps their focus and their drive up, And also, like, you don't want to really shuffle your back four about too much, because it kind of fucks with your goalie and stuff. Chris, what do you make of it?
I definitely see what you're saying, and I do think that that's a very effective way to get the most out of the rest of the depth of your squad, where you get those guys playing together and there's some cohesion. But when we went with two up top, and I forget now exactly which game it was. It was two or three games ago, and the actual formation wasn't the same. And I don't know if it was Brendan just trying something out or what, but there was definitely a lack of cohesion, and we weren't playing with the same tempo. So yeah, I would totally agree that if you played an entirely different squad on a Tuesday as opposed to a Saturday, that maybe there could build a little bit more of like a cohesive unit to really build on.
Yeah, that was the Hamilton game, right? Hamilton at home.
Yeah. Hamilton at home. That's it.
You get a 1-0 win. Griffith scores relatively early. Yeah, that team. It did look disjointed, didn't it?
It did.
Didn't flow as well. You know what's interesting? Did you guys? I don't know if you guys caught the. I happened to sit down early enough and get everything working, and got to watch the pre-match interview with Brendan Rodgers. And he even said in there that he likes Dembele more because Dembele does a better job, as Paul says, of holding the ball up and bringing people in, as compared to them being a better scorer. And I think Rev, you and I did a show a couple weeks ago where I asked you the question. I mean, out of all the goals, how many are coming from the striker? And it was one. Dembele scored one, and out of like the last 9 goals we had scored. So the question really is that the type of performance that Brendan's looking for? Is he really playing that wide 2 and the support as a 10? Are they looking for those guys to score a lot more goals than if it was Griffiths? Could that be what it is? Do you think?
I don't know. I mean, when you go out to play with, and what actually happens, that always changes. I mean, I can see him, wanting to be, wanting that to be a game plan. But yeah, like you said, like that hasn't been the case. Especially, with a formation like this, you need the goals to come from the midfield more so, especially when the striker isn't scoring. So I'm not going to complain as long as somebody's scoring.
Right. Who's wiping their ass? What the hell?
Listen.
Is that Lil? Is that Lil and Lil and Gus fighting for over the last doggy bone?
Dude, they are in the other room. I'm in that front office. Door is shut. It's quiet as a fucking church mile. It's like a goddamn garbage truck backing up. Somebody.
Beep, 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 beep. All right,
guys. Sadly, I need to get back to work, so I'm gonna have to love yous and leave yous. So take it easy, and I'm gonna just listen in from now. Okay.
Hey, listen. What was the last movie you worked on that did really, really well, but not as good as the one Rev likes? I guess not.
We love you, Paul.
Tell him, Rev. Ridley sucks.
No, I'm just saying, he sounds like an overbearing boss. He's making him work late, and he had prior engagements to do a show with us. That's all I'm saying. But at the same time, like I told that to Amy, like, it's going to be a short show. Paul had to leave early, and she's like, no, he has to leave early because he better make this movie fucking good, or she's going to go up the fucking can and cut his balls off. So. I don't know if anyone even knows what we're talking about. I don't know if we can say.
No, I don't know.
Like we have,
I don't know. I don't know either. But I have no idea. I don't even know what. Yeah, I don't even know what movie he's working on. I just know he just edits shit. No, I have no clue. I just saw you write something about Ridley Scott, and I was like, oh, that's pretty funny.
Okay.
But I don't. After that, I honestly don't know. But let's see. So, did you guys happen to catch the article? And I just want to ask. I would ask your question. This question: do you think Kolo Touré has been a flop at Celtic? Rev?
As a player, he's not really doing so much,
But has he been a flop?
He's better off the season. Is he a flop?
Chris?
I don't think he's been a flop. I think that where he's been the most instrumental has been off of the pitch and then training.
Yep.
And I say that to mean he is he's a very intelligent defender, and whether he's getting a lot of games or he's getting any games at the moment, I think that's probably not what he was brought in to do. I think he was brought in to be kind of a mentor to Jozo and
Bingo,
Eric and that kind of thing. So if you're saying he's been a flop as a player, I don't think he's been really given a whole lot of games. I mean, earlier on in the season, yeah, he came in and he was a force, and then there was a couple of little mishaps here and there, and I wouldn't be opposed to him getting more games, to be honest. Just because we're paying him to be here, or the club is paying him to be there. But yeah, I think his real bread and butter has been off the field. Just kind of mentoring everybody.
I love it. I love the fact that people think he's a flop. I love that. You know what that means? That means they don't know, like the rest of us, what's going on behind the scenes. If you, I'm sure, Chris, you get to see it, and Paul, Rev, you probably see it every now and then. I know Paul talks about it too. You watch the articles about you watch the interviews with the players on Celtic TV, and what are one of the most common comments? My biggest help so far, especially from O'Connell, has been working with Kola. That seems to be a recurring theme over and over and over. And to be honest with you, if he imparts a tenth of his knowledge and plays 3 or 4 more games before the end of the season, listen, man, he played with O'Connell to get us through the qualifiers before Simonovic was healthy and when Eric was hurt. And at this point in time, call him whatever you want. The man is in no way, shape, or form any type of flop at Celtic. That's what he was brought in to do, and that's what he's done. And I read this article earlier today, and my jaw hit the floor. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's no way. No way. No way at all.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. Like, as a player, he hasn't really done a whole lot, but, I don't, was he just hasn't been playing, right? Like, he wasn't injured after the Dortmund game, or, the Gladbach.
Yes.
Game.
Mm-hmm. He was injured a little bit, yeah.
He was? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then, and then he just hasn't been back in 2.5-ish months, something like that. So, and that's, I was getting at, like, him training and just being next to our younger defenders. I mean, that's the paycheck right there for the most part.
I would pay him for that.
I'd like to see him.
I'd pay him for that. Would you want to see him play a little more often?
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, and not even just to be like, oh, get our money's worth, but just to actually, get him out there, with, some proper competition, for what that's worth. But I think of it as like a kind of player coach kind of setup almost.
Yeah, he's like that on the field. I think so.
Did you see him today at halftime in there with Summer?
Yeah,
I thought he was spectacular.
He was. He laughed.
He's a great character, and it was really cool to see him in there, just kind of cutting up and giving his opinion on things. I mean, you could tell just by him being there that he at least outwardly seems very happy with whatever role that Brendan's brought him in for. So yeah, it was just fantastic to see today.
What was I guess did he give his predictions for the second half or something like that?
I don't not necessarily, but she read out some email or tweet or something, and it was just like, we're still hoping for 6-0 or whatever, and he just kind of smiled real big and went, yeah, but let's get the second one first, and, see where we go from there. And I was like, that's a great answer from a player, because some of not all of the interviews go as smoothly as Colo Torres did today. I thought I just thought he was great to see, and they're talking Summer.
No, I walked out of the room for a second. I came back, yeah, I missed like the question or what she said, but yeah, like he said something like she like I heard him like kind of talking or whatever, and then she said something like along the lines like, oh, we'll see how it goes or some shit like that. I'm just like, what did he just say?
What? Huh? What? What?
I'm like,
what?
I expected him to be just like, oh, I'm thinking like 5-0, for the end of the game. I was like, damn, bro, all right.
That yes, exactly. But he's like I don't quite think he understands everything that Summer said, because she said something like, did you see more about? She asked him about Griff playing an elf. You know what an elf is? And he said no. I'm like, how could you not see that on Celtic TV? Unless they really don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, wait a minute. For the championship, when they won the cup, he sat there like an elf for a reason on the front, which I thought was hilarious. But it's pretty funny. There is a huge connection there, and between him and the rest of the team. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see. And I really would like to see, and this is one thing especially after Miller getting some game time today, I'd really like to see how O'Connell is coming along. I really would. I'd like, because here's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see O'Connell get some game time and give Lustig some time off, because he's the one that, even though he's done really well lately, that I'm always afraid when he goes away on international break or something, he comes back fucked up. And he's the one that I'm more worried about, because he's what, at the end of his contract this year, he's 29, right? 29 years old.
Yeah.
It's I don't I'm just curious about how that's going to work. Maybe is he 30? 30 now? 29, 30? I know Combat Buddy's in the chat room, so I know he'll have the answer for me in 2 seconds. But that's one of those things. I mean, he's the one I'd like to see get some time off. Because I'll tell you what, when Tierney comes back, I don't think Izzy's going to play for a little while.
Mm-mm.
And that's really what I'm looking forward to, as far as that goes. But anyway, that was interesting. But the one thing, he's 30. Okay, CB says he's 30, so he knows. But since Paul's not here, let's talk about transfers, because Paul doesn't like talking about transfers. And I know he's sitting there throwing shit at the computer right now, trying to make edits in whatever $1 trillion blockbuster he's editing right now. But Brendan said he wants 3 to 4 new faces in, and 2 people that came up the other day was Jordan Rhodes and Snodgrass. Has Snodgrass become our new, how would you say this, our new yearly player that we're always linked with to come, and he never does?
I was going to say Jordan Rhodes his name usually comes up at least once a year.
Who would you rather have? Snodgrass is 29. Apparently they said you could have him for $4 million, which fits right into that little thing, right into that no one really wants him, really, but he's worth some decent money. Or Rhodes, who's 26, but Blackburn's going to want their money back for $9 million.
I'd probably go with Rhodes.
$9 million for Rhodes.
We got it.
That's true.
We'll have him. He should be hitting his prime. We'll have him maybe a little bit longer, for that prime. We have to look towards the future, yada, yada, yada. And at that age, hopefully, if we do sell him on, there'll be some value at the end of it, too.
Do you think you can buy some at 26 and have resale value? Do you really?
I'm not saying we're gonna, that if we get, buy them for 9, we're gonna sell them for, 10, 12, or even 9, but maybe, 6, something like that.
On the way out the door?
If, we're getting, yeah. But, getting someone, how much for Snodgrass?
Snodgrass 4, he's out of contract at the end of the year, so he is free to talk to somebody, but Hull can go ahead. Hull has a last year option on him.
So he's at 4. Let's say we do go for him at 4.
That means we get him now.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, so hypothetically we do that 2 years, what's he worth?
At
Anything?
29? No, nothing. That's $4 million to get him now. To what you do is you're paying $4 million to be able to get into
to get him 6 months early.
To get him 6 months early to get ready for the qualifiers, so you could try and bank another $30 million come September next year.
Right.
But not just another $30 million. You want him because you want him to be able to turn the screws to get to the last 16.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say go for Rhodes. There's no point now. We've got Brendan Rodgers. We're seeing the writing on the wall. We're seeing the potential. There's no point in playing it safe. I'm not saying we have to go for broke, but there's no point in tiptoeing around the bushes. We gotta fucking just go right for the attack. And we need the pieces and the artillery to make the attack.
You say right for it. Chris, what do you think? You want Rhodes or you want Snodgrass? Now, I have not seen either one play because I don't watch English football.
Well, nor have I, but at least I know.
Once again, Paul's right. The most uninformed podcast in the world.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I think Snodgrass is well past his prime. And so there probably won't be a whole lot of extra, bonus footage for Snodgrass if he comes in. But Rhodes, he's still 26 years old. I mean, he could still potentially have some growing to do. Not physically, but in his playing ability. So yeah, I would probably go for Rhodes. I mean, if you're going to stock up, I think I would rather have somebody who's got more potential to grow as a player than somebody that's at I don't want to say the end of his career, but nearing the end of his career.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the issue that they're going to have to deal with. Truthfully,
yeah.
That's the issue. The issue the club's going to deal with. Do you want Snodgrass for now? And do you think Snodgrass is the person who can go ahead and put you over the top and get you into the last 16? Or is even Rhodes that person for that matter? Because I got to be honest with you. I would personally like someone of higher quality instead of Armstrong for the Champions League.
That's true too. I wouldn't say that, if we had to go for a particular position, that striker would be our number one, most needed to improve position. I mean, it's a more glamorous sell, a better headline.
Yes, exactly, Rev. Exactly.
But when it comes down to it, what do we actually need? I don't think we need a striker.
Hell, we have like 20 of them. By the time you add in the kids and everything else. And there's another kid, Kid Flores, the kid from Dortmund, exactly. I read that the other day too. Have you seen him play, Rev?
No.
Yeah, he's like a US U21.
I've actually seen him play. He's good.
Yeah, just not there yet.
No, I mean, but again, I think if we're building something, I think I would rather get the pieces we're going to need in the future. And if Flores is the
he's
right guy,
another freebie in January too.
Yeah, and I mean, I would much rather get him or between him or Snodgrass, I would definitely take Flores, hands down.
Looking forward, it's compared to Snodgrass, yeah.
Oh, by far. I mean,
Yeah.
because he has not even met his quarter of his potential yet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's where you go with that.
I'm not saying you don't go out and buy a quality, but I think he's a quality player that's only going to get better.
So here's the $40 million question for you. What happens to the psyche of the Celtic fan? You go by Flores, who's an American, and spend nothing. Basically either get him for free as on a pre in January, or even pay, I don't know, a couple $100,000, maybe $1 million, maybe $700,000 on him, and not go get a Snodgrass or Jordan Rose or anything else, and not spend $4, $5, $6, $8, $10 million, which we're not going to spend. But I mean, what happens then? You just made $30 million, and now you're not spending any money. All right, oh my God, all the problems that we're going to have. Why can't you have any ambition? I mean, isn't that what's going to happen? We deal with that bullshit then?
Probably. And I'll kind of be one of those people.
I love that. I'll kind of be one of those people. Kind of, or you will be?
I mean, I'm not going to say it's the end of the world and oh my God, that's it. But I will point out the fact that, hey, we need to start getting ready for the qualifiers in fucking January every year, because that's basically when they start for us. And if we don't make the signings in January to get them ready for July,
Well, now actually 2018. Remember,
Right.
for 2018 it's now January because they added extra one for us. Instead of having 3, now we go to 4.
Oh, really? Oh, is that official? I
Yeah.
saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're not going to have people coming in July 1st.
Yeah, that makes this next one. And here's the reason why I agree with you. If you look to 2018 and the way it's set up, the problem with 2018 is right now our team coefficient, which it's going to be based on in 2018, it's not based anymore on how the country does, except for when they try and decide who the top 4 leagues are. Okay, which is only fucking fair because now they'll have 4 teams in there. The problem that we have is that Lenny's last 16 drops off in 2018 for coefficient points.
Naturally.
Exactly, right? So now that makes next year even more important because that's going to decide whether or not we're actually seated in the top half of the champions route. Because that's going to suck ass trying to jump through that. Because what I've seen is you could get teams like Beersheva in the third round instead of in the playoff round. Because now instead of having 6 or 8 spots for the Champions League through the Champions route, there's only 4.
It seems like such a clusterfuck.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess Craig Burley was right. No one wants to see Celtic play. I guess. I mean, maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but it's just one of those things. And I know this for a fact. I mean, we've gotten a lot more comments about Celtic stuff, about Celtic, especially people that I know have seen it more on TV this year and noticed it more than I've ever dealt with before. Like, oh, Brendan Rodgers, that whole thing. Even people, we talked about that, Chris. Remember? Oh, I love Brendan Rodgers. I'm a Liverpool fan. Celtic's now my second favorite team. Okay. Yeah, my second favorite, football team is the New York Yankees. But that's beside the point. Anyway. I had to teach my son that story once. My son goes, Dad, what's your second favorite baseball team after the Yankees? I said, son, the New York Football Giants. It took him like a minute. And he goes, oh, I get it. Okay. You don't have a second team? No, son, I don't. Okay, I got it. So anyway, if we bring in 3-4 guys, obviously F.A. Commons, Bailly, Boyata, Baton, and Shifty all have to go. They got to go anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think? We're not going to. I mean, Effe's never going to see the light of day. Commons, unfortunately, we get to him in a second. Bailly, there's just no chance. Boyata should have been buried with Efe years and years ago. Baton, I think he's going to be. I think he's the only one that actually has a say and is going to want to leave.
I think he's on the bubble. I think Baton's on the bubble.
But I think he's the one, Chris. Don't you think he's the one that basically has to decide whether or not he wants to stay and fight for a place or play?
Correct.
The only one with any value, to be honest with you, right?
I mean, he's for me. He's been the real. I won't say letdown, but he doesn't like it's. He just can't be asked for anything or arsed. Say it that way. I mean, he just. I mean, he's got Samra syndrome, which he just kind of comes in and like looks down at his feet and he's not playing like he's capable of playing it. I mean, that's at least my opinion of him. I think he's on the bubble. But I do think you're right though that if Baton wants to stay, he's going to have to be the one that decides that he wants to be here and play. Somebody just needs to kick him in the ass.
Rev, what do you think?
No, I agree 100%. Like, and that's I have the same thoughts on him, and it kind of sucks because like you see some of the shots that he can take from distance, some of the passes that he can ping, and how he can get in the way of attackers in the other team, and just kind of shut them down. Him and Bruni. And that's only him playing, like 50, 60%. If he were to apply himself, fully and be committed. Now, I don't know if that's just him here now. I don't know how he is, how he was before us, how he is when he plays for Israel. I only see, when he plays for Celtic. So, I don't know if that's just him just because he doesn't want to be here or whatever. That's just how his persona is, period. But no, it's just it would be. It just seems like it's a wasted potential. You know what I mean? That if that's just him playing at only half steam or 2/3 steam, how much better he would be if he actually totally applied himself.
Listen, he played the other day in the he played in the Dundee game, and he was slightly faster. You know what I mean? He pushed the ball ahead slightly quicker than what he was than before. And I don't know I see the problem I have with this whole big thing is I don't like when people say, oh, he can't be arsed. He doesn't look like he's trying. I mean, I want to honestly believe that as a professional that you honestly really, really work hard at what you do and you really want to play. I mean, you want to get out there and play and you want to do your best. I honestly believe that. I just don't think that it's his style of play. The same way, I don't blame Brendan for Commons not going out the way I think he should. Has nothing to do with either one of it. Has nothing to do with his Commons' ability to play the game or not. It just is not. He just doesn't fit into what Brendan does. As far as a high pressing, did you check out? Did you watch Henderson today at the end of the game? Busting his rear end to close people down at the end of the game. Let me ask you this: do you think Chris Commons would do that?
Yeah.
Playing in the same position?
He'd drop a lung.
He would.
If he even tried.
He would. And that's exactly the reason why you look at it, you have to laugh at it. It's like this whole big thing about whether or not Baton really is trying or not trying. It just isn't him. I don't think he pushes the ball like Stewart does. He just doesn't. And that's definitely not the job of Bruni. So when you put Baton and Bruni together, That's like watching paint dry. That shit's slow, especially when it's cold outside. So, I'm not all that worried about these other guys leaving. Shifty, he can fucking go. I really don't know why we got him in the first place. Boyata, Bailly, Commons, and Fa, they're all going to be gone. The only one worth letting go or having any value is Baton, and I really believe that's up to him to decide whether or not he thinks Brennan really believes there's a future for him. But after that, the rest of the team's all kids.
Which is really, I wouldn't say that there definitely isn't, but there kind of really isn't, because he hasn't really been featured all that much. He's been shown that he is replaceable and he's not all that missed. And we've got decent, if not better, players right behind him. So I'm not gonna cry if he does go in January. I prefer it, really.
Yes, I would too. Speaking of gone in January, anyone want to give a parting shot to Chris Commons?
Parting shot?
Yeah, whether or not it's "I love you, man," "Way to go," "We'll miss you," "Goodbye, you fat fuck." I mean, whatever it is that you want to say, it's a parting shot. Go ahead and give it. Like, shout out to your boy.
Okay, parting shot. Parting shot usually has a negative connotation.
It can be. Listen, apparently I say lots of things that have different connotations no matter where I go. So, Commons, give us your parting love letter or hate letter to Chris Commons.
No, it's been a great past few years.
5.
He's definitely
he's been around that long.
It's gonna be okay. Yeah, it would be 6, I guess.
Yeah, 5, 6. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while. I remember the first game, or I mostly remember the first game that I saw him play when we got him in that transfer window, and watching the game up with Jack Dempsey's with the Manhattan boys, and just probably the 70th minute. Just don't really remember much after that. He was just scoring goals and putting away. I think he got, I don't know if he scored off a free kick or just a long shot. It was either way. He scored a goal well outside the box. Everybody just went fucking crazy. Seamus was there. He took the trip up into the city, so I was like, hell yeah, I'll go to the city with you. Fitzy was there, and then all the Fenian boys. So that was, I'm just like, this is the guy that we got, and he's gonna be an awesome signing, and then it was. But no, he was definitely, I'd say, one of my favorites over the last 2 years. And it sucks that he has to go, but yeah, he's 33.
Yep.
It is what it is. And I do think that, yeah, he should go out with a bit more fanfare, but unfortunately that doesn't seem like how it's going to be. So, thanks for the memories.
There you go. Don't think anybody else. Chris, what do you think?
Dear Chris Commons, you're a great Celtic servant. I'll echo some of the things that Rev said. There were some spectacular goals that he scored. He was a part of a lot of fond memories, and wish he'd had a little bit more fanfare going out. But it is what it is, and I wish him all the best.
Do you think his legacy?
Love Chris Long.
Love Chris. Love Honey Boo Boo. I can't believe neither one of you say anything about his wife. Do Celtic fans love her more than they love him?
Probably. I mean, she even tweeted out the other day. She was just like, Celtic's a club that you never truly leave.
Yeah, her letter was awesome.
Yeah. So she will always be a part of Celtic, just like Chris Commons is a thread of Celtic that will forever be there.
I thought you'd be mad at her, Chris.
Do what?
I thought you'd be mad at her
Why?
because she called Buckfast dragon juice.
I mean, you know, I can't.
Gotta be careful.
I can't fault somebody that does good work. I mean, you want to call Buckfast dragon juice? Fine, whatever. I mean, because she has been a great fundraiser for the Celtic overall cause, and I think that's the important part to remember about her and Chris both, is that, you know, they gave of themselves. They did it, you know, the things off the field, in the way that things should be done, and I can't fault her for that. So if she wants to call Buckfast dragon juice, far be it for me to stop her.
Do you think his agree or disagreement with Ronnie and Mulder changes anything for you, Chris?
I don't know. I mean, it's probably just a difference of opinion in the nuts and bolts of playing a football match. But you know, if nothing else, it was a great meme.
It is a great meme. That's one of my favorite memes ever. When he's pointing out and he says,
Yeah.
"See, Ronnie, you see the moon? FA shouldn't be that close to this team." That's my meme.
Exactly.
That's one of my perfect memes.
I mean, but you know, at the time, you know, we were all trying to rally around Ronnie and you know, trying to see what's the best course of action for the club, and you know, just a difference of opinion, I think. And you know, I also remember the Sevco game, and I believe it was in the Cup when we were all in Philadelphia, and he was Commons was running down, and he, you know, there's a meme of him running and looking over to the side, and he's making a face. And,
oh yeah, after you scored.
So yeah, it was a spectacular meme, and you know, a very fond memory. So, you know, like I said before, I just wish him nothing but the best. You know, was I very critical of him when he was playing, because, you know, he put on a few lbs and wasn't moving as nimbly as he probably could have. Yeah, definitely. But you know, he was a great Celtic servant, so he'll be missed.
Rev, I'm going to ask you. I want your opinion, but I want a different way. I want you to tell me, if that happened at Red Bull, what would happen with the Garden State Ultras? What would happen?
With which part?
If that Mulder thing went down with Red Bulls, what would
that player would instantly be like our fucking hero.
I didn't expect that one. I didn't expect that answer. and I have to ask this question: Why would he become your hero now?
Just being a wise ass, just, you know, for, you know, and just being that guy, you know, just for sassing back and shit like that.
Does it bother? I mean, then for you, does it bother you that he did it? Does it tarnish anything for you? No. I mean, like, you know, like Chris said, like, we're, at that point in time, we're all, you know, still trying to rally around Ronnie and stuff. So it's just like, you know, kind of being the third party. It's like, okay, guys, you know, try to play nice, keep it easy, that sort of thing. You know, and tempers, you know, flare, because everyone, you know, are also on the same page, and we want the same results and everything like that, and to succeed and everything. But you want to see passion from players, from managers too, because that means that they do care about what happens and everything. But you know, when it's like with that situation, like with Commons, like, I think the fans
sided with Commons a little more because I think at that time he wasn't really getting a lot of playing time or whatever the case was. So it's kind of like we felt we were a little more behind him at that moment for whatever the case was.
At the end of that game? No, come on. I mean, losing to Molda and going out. I mean, trying to support him was about as effective as trying to push a wet noodle across a dry table. That wasn't going to happen.
No, Common.
No, Ronnie. Yeah. I had. You know why I have no problem with what Commons did? Because
between the two of them, I'm saying if at that point in time, like if you had to like pick a side, I think like people were still like, more Commons than Ronnie, but at the same time, like third party, hey, don't fight kind of thing. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does only because that would have been better for the overall love within the club. But I'll be honest with you. You know why I'm not mad at Commons? Because he was right.
Right. Oh yeah.
Plain and simple. I mean, I got into this huge thing with God bless them. I mean, they're not with us anymore. They're on their own thing. But 90 Minute Senate going on and on and on about how it was all Commons' fault and how he's nothing to them now and blah blah blah. I'm like, listen, you take a man who scored 30 goals, you bring a new manager in, changes it, doesn't change it, whatever he does. You can't say that all of a sudden he scored 30 last year, he didn't score as many this year or the year after, and now he's shit because he didn't score any goals. If he changes the way that he wants the game to be played, which Ronnie wanted to do what Brendan's doing, he just, for whatever reason, did what he did. Well, I know he did it because he's a fucking idiot. But, I mean, as you try and plug Commons into that hole, it doesn't work. But that's Ronnie's problem because it's actually Ronnie's fault because Ronnie tried to make players do things that they weren't really meant to do. Going to a one-striker system when you have people that don't fit that program makes no flipping sense, especially when you got a guy who scored 30 goals the year before. So you look at that and you go, oh, well, of course Commons is going to be pissed off and irritated to no end. He's gone from 30 goals down to almost nothing, and then last year he's sitting there trying to get to the Champions League, and he's getting subbed. The team's playing like shit. That's the end of it. I mean, look at all the different comments. Look at the comments what did Stuart Armstrong say the other day about the difference between Brendan Rodgers and last year? This coach understands I need to be in the middle. Last year I was lost out on the wing. Did he not say that? Yep. What did Bruni say about this year compared to last year? This year's training is a lot different because this year's a lot more intensive. For all the bullshit that Ronnie spoke and spewed out and out and out and out, now all of a sudden we're sitting here looking at this going, hey, wait a minute. Our own captain saying that last year was a waste of his own time. He was forced to play hurt. He could barely walk at the end of the season. Now he's playing like he is. And now Commons comes, and look at, here you go. Not that I want to mention him one more time just as my last parting shot. But who was the person who said the manager, at the end of the season, I'll be here and the manager will be gone? Who said that?
I think it was Stokes, Anthony.
Yeah, it may have been. I'm not going to say his name because I'm not allowed to say it anymore. But he did say that. Why would they? Why would all these different players say this about this one guy? And then all of a sudden now we have people, oh, well, it tarnishes it for me, or does this for me, or does that for me, or he's not as great. Listen, Ronnie was the fucking mistake. Just be honest with it. I know it's a bitter pill. Oh, well, he's won a cup and two. Listen, Ronnie is the ultimate example of, could my grandmother coach this fucking team and win a championship? And the answer is yes. And the reason why, because even with the team that he had, it's still... I tell you what, next time he sees Tom Roderick and he doesn't get on his fucking hands and knees and kiss the fucking bottom of that man's feet, if it wasn't for that goal at Killy, God knows where we'd be right now. God knows where we'd be right now. And that's the problem I have with people giving Commons shit. Commons just had enough of that bullshit to go ahead and say, fuck you, get out. Fuck you, you're just out of your mind, you're crazy. Even they know what's going on. Listen to them. as he pointed up to the stands. And that's exactly the reason why Ronnie definitely, at the end of that time, why he knew he was done. And he said he was done in an article that after Mulder, he knew he was over. And in that whole big time between Mulder and the end of the season, if it wasn't for Rogic, let's put it this way. Let's say we don't get the goal against Killy and we only get a draw. You think Aberdeen changes the way they play at the end of the season? Maybe a little bit more motivation? I don't even want to think about it. Yeah. I mean, I just... And I'll tell you what.
Blood in the water and all that.
Yes. And I got to be honest with you. I mean, when Paul and I first did this, started with this podcast, quoting Ronnie, listen to the way he talked and everything else, and to come out of the blocks and scoring goals and everything else. Yeah. But then, you get found out as a man manager, and that's what happens. I mean, that's, I don't know. But anyway, enough of that bullshit. So, anyway.
Are you mad, bro?
I am. I'm mad. Are you mad, bro? I'm mad, bro. So what'd you guys think of Miller's performance today?
Thought it was fantastic.
Did you?
I mean, for a academy kid to get out there, make his first start, fucking brilliant. I mean, for as much shit as everybody's like, well, quality this, and when you bring these people in or whatever, we're doing great things at the academy, and getting those younger guys that grew up going through the academy, I think it's fantastic. I mean, he's not going to be in your starting 11 week in, week out, but
no,
you're getting him some exposure. He's getting some actual playing time in a league game. I think it's great.
Considering that's out of his position.
Yeah, I mean,
left wing, not left defender.
Just the whole thing, all the way around. I think that's nothing but positive. I mean, just because, I mean, you've got academy guys that are becoming great footballers just by them getting out there and getting the time to see what it's like in a league game or whatever. I mean, you look at Colin McGregor and Kieran Tierney and O'Connell and Henderson, and that's something that those kids that are growing up, going through the academy, I mean, that's what they're looking for. And I think it's great for those young guys to get out there and mix it up with the starting 11.
Rev, you like to see the young guy come through?
I think so, because he even had a shot on goal that was pretty decent shot too, right?
Yeah.
It's just really funny because when last show we did, we were talking about lineup predictions and all that stuff, and I said, one thing about Brendan Rodgers' team is pretty much trot out basically the same starting 11 minus one or two here. They're different, and it's not like we're going to see something that's drastically different with Ryan Christie or whatever, blah blah blah. Next game Ryan Christie plays and Henderson plays and all this stuff. So I mean, it's good to see the kids getting some games in. It's just weird, and I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, not necessarily a good thing. It's just kind of weird because I'm not used to it. But it's almost like we're playing in end of the season form already, and it's like league wrapped up.
He can put people in.
Right, it's like mid-April. We got it. Let's just throw some kids in just to give them some games. We still have the cup final to worry about, at the end of May. Just don't want to get anybody hurt or anything like that, or overexhausted or anything like that. So just throw some kids in here and there just to finish out the year and call it a year. This is what it feels like the last few weeks. I don't know if that's just me or it just because we've had so many games back to back this month. But that's at least today I had that feeling.
So let me ask you this then: What did you make of him wearing number 59?
I didn't. Is that supposed to be significant? I didn't really.
Chris?
I mean, insane. What's the significance?
Well, have you noticed? Have you noticed? I only know this because I had a chance to talk to a couple of the guys who work at the academy. You realize that since McGeady,
they're all super high numbers.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I mean. Okay. Yeah. I knew that. I just didn't know what that. I thought you meant like the actual number 59. But no. Yeah. I know that 63, 46,
right.
63.
McGeady, McGregor, McGeoch, Tierney, Ralston, McCart, Atchison, Thompson, Nesbitt. Yeah, all those guys. They all are in the 60s. 50s and 60s. The only one who really, I don't remember having a number like that, was Tony Watt, but he was 32. But the McConnell right now, I believe, is 34. So, so those super high numbers, and the coolest thing is they kept them. I think McGeady started that with that's my number, I'm keeping it because that's the number I was given out of the academy. And they've kept that the entire time, which is actually pretty cool. So I thought that was really, really neat. He came on where 59 is compared to like a 22 or 27 or a 19 or something, some odd number. It's just those high numbers. I mean, Kearney is in the 60s. McGregor is 42, right?
Well, when you make your Instagram and your Twitter, and you don't want to keep changing your handle with that number all the time. People are going to go to tweet you and stuff. You're like, hey, mate, great game and all that shit. And then you're like, oh, wait, this user doesn't exist. What's going on?
If nothing else, it shows the devotion to the academy and the club.
Exactly.
Is that look, you gave me that number while I was a kid going through the academy, and I'm keeping it because that is my Celtic number.
Almost like they earned that number because they went through the academy.
Exactly.
You also noticed that those guys were all solid black boots.
Oh yeah.
Oh, did they? I didn't notice that.
Mm-hmm. Tierney still does. So does McGregor. I mean, so does what's his name? Henderson. Yep. They wear solid black boots. That's part of the deal. And you're in the academy, you play solid black boots. They tell them you can get the really cool looking boots when you sign your first professional contract.
Oh no shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty dope.
Well, even Tierney, after he signed the contract with Adidas, he's like, yeah, I want them all black.
Yep, he gets black on black. Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was one of the funny things when I had one of the Celtic guys over here to talk with my son's club. We took Max to go get boots one day, and Max is like, "Oh, look at these cool pink boots." But he looked at him and said, "You're a goalkeeper, not a footballer. Put the pink boots down." And Max looked at him and said, "What?" He goes, "You're not a footballer. You're a goalkeeper. Put the pink boots down." Well, I can't have pink boots. No, you can have pink boots. Well, when can I get pink boots? When you sign your first professional contract. Really? He goes, well, if you want to play at the Celtic Academy, you can't wear those boots. You have to wear all black, or black with like a white stripe on, or whatever. He's like, oh. So I didn't say anything to him, and Tony had mentioned it to him, and talked with him. Everything else. And the funniest thing ever was then, later on at the end of the season when Max went to get new boots, he's like, Dad, can I get these black ones? It was so cute. I was like, oh, heart melting moment. Oh, okay. But no, that's how I learned it. That's what they're allowed to do. It's just all straight black. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But they all wore that number. They all wore those high numbers. But anyway, so let's see. Oh! Did you hear Tom Brady about what Tom Brady did?
No.
Now I know Rev and I hate Tom Brady because we have to. He plays for Boston. We're Yankees fans. We hate everything Boston, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, soccer, tiddlywinks. If it's from Boston, we hate it. True or false?
I'm gonna look for a Boston Tiddlywinks club now.
Just so I can... Even Tiddlywinks, even Sam Adams. You don't like Sam Adams, do you?
No, I really don't.
See, it's Boston beer. That's the reason why. Brady and Michael Strahan are executive producers of this new thing. And somebody named Gotham Chopra, I don't know who that is, on ATTUverse. It's called The Religion of Sports. And today is the last episode. Comes out tonight. It's called Keepers of the Faith. They did 6-part series. Celtic and Rangers FC are two of football's oldest teams, separated only by 6 miles in Glasgow. They have a rivalry unparalleled in the sporting world with religious, societal, and historical tensions. This episode explores their centuries-old feud. Now, what's pretty funny is, especially they have their own Facebook page, which you can go there, Audience Sports, it's called. Look up Audience Sports, you'll see it. And, of course, the top post today is founded in 1887, the Celtics Football Club. I love this already. Americans totally getting absolutely everything correct. Has Irish Roman Catholic ties from their humble beginnings, blah, 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 blah. Tonight, 8 o'clock is the show. And the funniest part about all of this is all the comments. So immediately it becomes Rangers fans with, oh, look at all the people that are talking about child abuse. It's just absolutely crazy. It really is. Immediately, it's the first thing you see. And it's just absolutely just a joke. I mean, it's ridiculous. We love Jimmy Savile, is what it is. It's just, absolutely ridiculous. It can't be, like, I'm sure Americans look at this going, oh, what's this all about? And all of a sudden this shit shows up instead of being about sport. But what do you expect from fucking zombies, right? So if you think Brady's a fan of the Celtics-Sevco situation, no, he's just a producer of a show trying to get people to watch. So Chris, listen to me. Paul and I talked about it a little while ago, and we're like afraid of how they're going to make one look like the other, when in reality, it's not even close to the same.
Yeah,
So
they just parodied themselves.
Parodied themselves. Yes, I agree. So, are you guys on ATTUverse?
No. I mean, this is literally the first time I've even heard of this. This sounds like the biggest load of bullshit that I've ever heard. I mean, if it's any indication of what the actual program is about, I mean, it already,
Just from that alone, from Celtics?
Fucking horseshit. Yeah. I mean, because, like, I swear to you, earlier today, there was somebody that was in my office, and I've got Green Brigade stickers on some of my stuff on my office desk, and he looked at me with a serious face and goes, Chris, I didn't know that you were such a Boston Celtics fan. How did you become a Boston Celtics fan? I said, well, first of all, it's Celtic.
Yes. Second off, here's a kick for your balls, fucker.
Yeah, like, hey, this has nothing to do with the Boston Celtics, the Go Celtics, or anything like that. I said it's European soccer, football. It's played in Glasgow, Scotland, and then his next. I mean, you could just see the hamster just fell off the wheel because he couldn't comprehend it. He was just like, well, how are you into this? And I went,
oh, like, listen, man, I got work to do.
Yeah, yeah. So like, how much time do you got?
I got too much time.
I basically left it in like, I basically left it with him like this. I said, look, Celtic to me is something that sought me out. I didn't go and just like, I really like this club and blah 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 blah. I was like, it's the ethos of the club. It was founded by Irish immigrants in Glasgow, and I kind of gave like a very brief history of it, and I could tell he was like, I don't understand this, but good for you. And that's the American, that's the typical American response to American Tims when we have to go through and explain this, because it is so foreign to the majority of American people, just because they don't want to take the time to learn anything about it. They don't fucking care, and then they will parody you. You know, I've had people that are like, "Yeah, you're really into St. Patrick's Day, aren't you?" Sure, but that's not it. Like you're not getting it. You really don't care about it. And so when I hear that Tom Brady and Strahan are making a film documentary about it, it makes me cringe because nobody in the mainstream media that has the wherewithal to produce stuff is going to produce anything with any accuracy enough to really tell the full story. And I think that's disheartening to a lot of Americans that would really benefit from learning about how Celtic and you know the story of the club and the ethos and everything. So the bottom line is it sounds like pish. It probably is. And if Sevco zombies have already hijacked the threads about it and immediately they go to their go-to mudslinging, then fuck them and fuck the documentary and fuck Sevco. Stepping off the soapbox.
Nice. I actually enjoyed that. Rev?
Yeah.
You want to top that? You want to put a cherry on top of that?
I would just say it's not the oldest rivalry in sports because it's only about 5 years old.
Yeah.
Oh. There you go. Which brings us back to Chris Commons as the only player to get to do what?
Beat him every year?
No, the only Celtic player to score against both renditions of Rangers and whatever they're called.
I was going to say, I'm just like, I know a couple people have at least, but no, yeah, okay.
He scored against
That's right.
both.
He got him in the last game.
Yes, the world's most successful club, and unless you're counting Champions League titles. What the fuck? Anyway, I don't get that.
Speaking of the dearly departed, did you see if we win the next 3 games running up to Hogmanay that we'll have 55 points going into Hogmanay?
You can't make that shit up, can you?
I mean, no, you cannot make.
Should that be our to a new Twitter handle? Going for 55 before Christmas?
Start Hogmanay.
Oh, before the end of the year, before New Year's, yeah. That's because we got what 2 games left. Yeah, this was Ackies and then Ross County, then the Sevies, right?
Yep.
So that leads us to Ackies away. I understand Roderick's supposed to be back to play for against Ross County, right? What do we have after that? I mean, you guys excited for to get up on Christmas Eve and watch Celtic play at Ackies?
Sure.
I'm just glad that's Christmas Eve and not Christmas Day. New Year's Day, because that's going to be a packed day. Christmas Day, New Year's Day.
Mm-hmm.
New Year's Day is going to be a packed day.
That's going to be a great day for football for us here, for football in general here. We get Christmas Eve, we get New Year's Eve, and then the rest of the day is the college football playoffs. So not a bad day here. Not a bad day. So here you go. You ready? So Simonovic has been playing one game one game a week. He played today. Ackies the 24th. Ross County away to Ackie, which is basically Glasgow, I guess. I know it's Hamilton, but right on the corner. Ross County at home, and then basically, Celtic don't leave the general area of Glasgow for the rest of the year. Do you give him off against Ackies? Do you play him against Ackies and then give him off against Ross County, and then play against the Sevco team, or what do you do with him? He's the only one that I'm really worried about.
if it was me, I would play him against Hamilton, rest him against Ross County, and then play him against Sevco.
Same here.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Ready? Is Hamilton on turf now, or they changed to grass?
I have no clue.
Did they change?
You're asking the wrong person.
I know. Once again, we are the most uninformed team.
No, but I mean, fuck. I mean, the turf industry. I don't think that there's. I mean, turf is made a lot like grass. More than it used to be when it was like AstroTurf and the Astrodome in 1966. So, I'm leery of saying like, well, if it's truly turf, then it's he doesn't do as well if it's on grass or whatever.
Well, I don't want anything to mess with it. It is turf. It's tiger turf they're on.
Yeah, it's like grass.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, tiger turf, Mark. Yeah, I don't think he plays against that. I think he probably doesn't play against Ackies, which is the reason why he probably played today. And then Ross County at home, and then Sevco on the 31st. I think that's how that works. But after that, I mean, I would say that whatever the team you see against Ross County is probably going to be the team you see against Sevco. You think?
I think it's a fair shot.
Sure.
Dembele, Rogic, Sinclair, and Roberts up top.
Yep.
I think you're probably looking at Griffiths on Saturday, and then Dembele on Ross County and Sevco. But then again, I don't know. What do you think about I think you go. Yeah, I think you go with that same back four, or Izzy instead of Miller that we had today.
Definitely Izzy instead of Miller. Yeah.
So I actually take it back. So you put in Sviatchenko, Lustig, and Gamboa on Saturday,
probably,
and then Lustig, Simonovic, Sviatchenko, and Izzy against Ross County and Sevco.
I like it.
Yeah, I think that's where we go too. I'm with you there too. That's what I think is going to go on. But anyway, so and then here's the question for you. I mean, we'll probably do a show before then. It's 3 weeks. It's like an extended fucking European, like international week. We don't play again from Hogmanay. We don't play again until the 22nd of January. 3 weeks off.
That's going to be brutal. I'll be honest. That's going to be fucking brutal.
The only thing I got going on is like the NFL playoffs, and even then I don't care.
Did they used to do that in the middle of December instead?
Yeah, it was like the end of December until January, but I think they put that the Cup final earlier. Yeah. So, and this year, I mean, this is the one year that I think they really need the how can you say this, the time off, because this 9 games this month has probably fucking killed them.
Killed them. And that's probably why you're seeing a lot of the changes. I mean, I know that we were talking earlier, when Paul was on about, you could have a starting 11 that played on Saturdays, and then you have kind of your B team play on Tuesdays or Wednesdays or whatever, and yeah, that's ideal, but at the same time, I think that's also the reason why you're seeing some of those guys getting a run out just because of, like, you don't nine games in a month. I mean, that's brutal.
It is brutal,
and you want to keep everybody as fresh as possible. So we're doing what we have to do, and we're still getting a W and 3 points out of every match. So I think I think that was strategic, and the supporters need to just relax.
Did you just say supporters?
I did.
Oh. Hold on. I'll be back in a second.
Oh.
Supporters. So, yeah. Anyway, so I'm not. Are you guys worried about a 1-0 and a 2-1 right now? Or no, not really. Knowing what we've been through. Seriously.
No.
No.
Me either. You know what the only thing I'm worried about is? Statistics. I saw a statistic today that will blow your head away. You ready? Fouls given.
Go for it.
Right? The fouls given. Top of the league to bottom of the league. Inverness has gotten 14.5 fouls a game called for them. Celtic, 10.9. Lowest in the SPFL. The least amount of calls given to them. Committed, Ross County commits 14.1 fouls a game. Celtic, who has the ball 90% of the time against most teams, still 11.8, third lowest. Does any of that make any sense to you? How can we have the ball for the most period of time against probably 95% of our games, and we get almost 4 less fouls a game?
Do you want me to answer this honestly?
Okay, here you go. You can answer that, but you can't use Men in Black.
I mean, I don't know how many first-time listeners have ever heard me comment on the fucking Hun ref. I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Go ahead, say it.
Yeah, fuck the SFA officials. They are the fucking worst, and
Really?
they fucking don't call fouls when clearly it is a foul. And it is honest mistake after honest fucking mistake, and it's fucking frustrating to watch. And if anybody is listening from the SFA, fuck you, fuck you, for just call a fair fucking game. That's all that anybody fucking wants. But the fact of the matter is that any time that one of the Celtic players goes in on a 50-50 challenge and gets nothing but ball, they give the fucking foul to the other team, regardless if it's Sevco or it's Ross County or it's Hamilton or whoever. It's a fucking joke. And people that don't see that are not watching the same thing that I'm watching.
Or Josh Meekings. Just saying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying.
God almighty.
Hey, Rev, in MLS, do you have refs that don't like Red Bull or don't like Philly or any of those things?
I feel like there definitely are. I mean, they say the refs are just shitty, flat out. But I have a feeling that there's a couple refs that just seems like whenever we get them, they do seem to target our team.
Every ref or just a few?
Not every ref. No, there's a couple that we've had some incidents with that have played like some kind of like bigger games, and they've made some bad calls, and then they got called out like in the media by like our coach and stuff like that. And then after that, actually no, I take that back. This year, our coach did say a couple times like that we were. We had a couple calls that should have gone for us and didn't, like red cards that should have gone, and penalties that should have been given and stuff like that, like clear as day fucking shit, going back to like May, June, and pretty much all summer, up until like the end of August. Like there's some really bad calls, and like you have like Wallace and stuff, like we're getting like big games like ESPN and shit, and they're even saying like, well, we have no idea why that wasn't given to New York, blah blah blah, and they're trying to pass it off as because our coach was making those comments about the referees were then overcompensating by not purposely ignoring them, but just thinking that every little contact that was made was not really as bad as it was.
Oh my God!
So they were.
In MLS, I would be more along the lines of the referees are just shit. Look at the last Gold Cup. Who was that fucking idiot in the middle of the field for those two games? That was just pathetic.
Geiger.
Yeah.
Mark Geiger.
Mark Geiger. Dear God, he is the American Craig Thompson.
And he's supposedly like one of our best.
He is just fucking pathetic. Oh my God, the Mexicans really don't care, but the Brazilians and the Costa Ricans just despise the man. Just despise the man, but makes total sense. I mean, hell, for that matter. Did you see the comments about Craig Thompson recently after his game in Turkey, or after the last game, that if they ever find him in Turkey, they'll kill him? After what happened with Galatasaray? Craig Thompson, what a fucking joke. Anyway, yeah, but I'm with you, man. That's exactly the problem I got with the SFA, because they know.
Fucking Bobby
Madden, brother Madden.
Dude, he just fucking, he does my nut in worse than Craig Thompson, and that's saying something. Bobby Madden is the biggest pile of Hun shit, and I mean, he should be banished from reffing a 6-year-old's game.
Ridiculous. Anyway, so you guys got anything else you want to throw on the fire before we say goodnight?
Well, are we? I mean, are we still on for the ball boy, homeboy, colonial, Belfast boy, Christmas extravaganza? I mean, is that still on?
What are we going to call it? The colonial smell the bald boy podcast Christmas special or something?
Merry Christmas Hanukkah Kwanzaa special extravaganza.
Say that one more time. I don't think anyone got that. Say that one more time.
Merry Christmas Kwanzaa Hanukkah. Fuck, I think I said it different. I don't know. Just take the three of them and then mix it together.
Chris McQuanzaa Hanukkah?
Yeah, there you go.
Hansa Chris McQuanzaa. There you go. Yes, that would be covering all of it. That'd be covering all of it. So that's pretty funny, man. Pretty funny. Yeah, apparently Thursday at some point in time. So I got to wait for the colonial side, what goes on in New Zealand, to let me know when they're going to get this together, because I think we have to time it so that the guys in Scotland aren't in bed or drunk by then, versus what goes on with the guys in New Zealand, because they'll be eating their cornflakes. So I just waiting on that. But supposedly Thursday we should have, and I'll have to go ahead and make sure no other computers are on during the day, because I'm going to need as much bandwidth as possible to run 30 people through my Skype.
Jesus.
So
it's going to be something.
It'd be good. I don't know why no one's ever done this before. It should be pretty cool to get everyone on it together. So yeah, a smell the glove special of Chris McQuanzaa Hanukkah. Merry Chris McQuanzaa Hanukkah. There you go. Perfect. Anyway, so anything else you guys want to talk about? How cold it is. It's freezing.
Oh,
hey, you don't get the right to complain.
Yeah, no shit.
Listen, man, I went outside today. It was 38 degrees when I had to go run some errands today. It was 38 and raining. I could have swore I woke up in Scotland today.
Oh no, it did not break 32 all day here today.
slightly warmer here. I think it was about 40. But
40.
Yeah, Rev's 100% right. You don't have a right to complain. You just got back from Mexico.
Yes, I did.
Sipping margaritas.
Oh no, I didn't have any margaritas. But I will say this: tequila is bad for you. Tequila is evil.
But you had access to good tequila, not the shitty Cuervo Gold. I'm talking the good shit, and the stuff that makes your hangover not as bad.
Yeah, but you see, the problem is you forget you ate pizza, and all of a sudden you're screaming out. You're screaming out things like, "Pull up, Cougar! Pull up, Cougar!"
Hold on. Which is by far one of the best stories that I have with you. Is the first time in Philadelphia, coming in the next morning, and we're both just hungover, and then you look at me and go, "Did we have pizza last night?" I'm like, "Yes, we did have pizza last night." So maybe it's not the drinking; it's the eating the pizza at odd times.
Yes. That is always the case. I'm always trying to find ways around the hangover thing. I remember going to New Orleans and always starting out at one of my favorite bars in the world, over in the French Quarter, and at Napoleon House, and sitting there going, "Oh, you know what? I think the problem is, the problem really with New Orleans is there's something that they serve that's in the beer at Napoleon House that makes you sick and makes you just hurt the rest of the day." Then I realized the next time I went, it wasn't the Napoleon House I started out at. Never made it there. That it had nothing to do with Napoleon House. But
maybe hold on now. This just kind of came to me. You know how we were talking about doing a Smell the Glove live broadcast? Maybe we can hit up the New Orleans boys and we can all get to New Orleans, because that would be.
I love that bar. What a great place. I love it down there. I love that town. Love that town. Yes, but Costa Rica. Mexico. Yeah, Cabo San Lucas is just absolutely gorgeous. If you want to look at some pictures that I tweeted out to go ahead and piss people off, just check out my Twitter feed. I tweet those out. It was absolutely gorgeous. Spent a week there. You know what? We only left the property once. We didn't have to. This was phenomenal. But yeah, it does beat the fuck out of this. It was 87 and sunny every day, not a cloud in the sky. So it was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. In fact, I'd go back tomorrow if you let me. You said, "John, yeah, sure, John, you go back?" I'm like, "Yep, I'm on my way. See you later." But I only had one night of pull up, Cougar. I need someone to help. I needed Maverick to come help me land the plane, because Dr. J was on autopilot one night.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Okay, and yes, minus 25 in Indiana for CB. I feel bad. Minus 25. That's cold. That's cold.
That makes me cold just thinking about it.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. I'm glad. Listen, I'm glad it's him though. If someone's got to live there, so that part of the world doesn't freeze over. So I'm glad he's holding up that part of the world for us. I mean, I got nothing else to say about that. He just said, "You don't feel bad at all, you bloody liar." Oh, God, that's funny. No, I don't feel bad at all. I really don't. Listen, there's a reason why I left where I lived before to move to the south. And by the way, Myrtle Beach is still too far north compared to how warm I like it. So eventually, my ass will be moving even further south to get away from the cold. Eventually. But anyway. So, what did you going to say, Chris?
Nothing. Just, yeah. I mean, I can go up north for a while, but there's something about being in December and still wearing shorts that I do enjoy. It's not happening this year, but earlier in the month, you know, I mean, it was like Thanksgiving. I'm out there in a t-shirt and shorts, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, and by the way, when Chris says go north, he means like leave Athens and go towards like Tennessee.
Yeah.
You get to Helen, Georgia, and that's north enough.
Yeah. But no, like you know, going up to Philadelphia in January, you know, I've had no issues with the cold up there. So I mean, I know I can do it. It's just that my body temperature likes the heat. That's all.
Yeah, I can't. I got a couple days worth, and then it's like, all right, it's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
I mean like 10 minutes worth. Then I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking cool. How do people live here? I just got back from Portland, Maine, and it was brutal. Oh my God, it was so cold. Rev, I don't know how you do it, brother. I really don't know how you still live there.
I don't know how I do it, and I can't go any more north. I think if it's any colder, I just couldn't do it.
Yep.
Like tomorrow actually. Even tomorrow's the first day of winter. It's like, damn, we have not even hit winter yet. And we actually said fall wasn't even that bad. Like, it didn't really get cold until November. Like, it was still like kind of, 50s, like upper 50s, 60s. So like 10 degrees Celsius thereabout. Not too bad. And then it just fucking just dropped, like right before Thanksgiving.
Wow.
So it was like, 55, 55, 55, 30.
Yeah. What was Paul saying? It was like minus 17 the other day, or minus 20, minus 31 or something in Montreal. Forget that. God bless you guys. I wish I could put up with that. I just can't. Just no chance.
And our lows have been, like last night, I think the low was like 15, and with the wind chill it was like 8.
You're missing a number.
Nope.
8 what?
Really.
8 over 60? I mean, what? 8? Like 8? Like 8? No, I seriously gotta pass on that. I couldn't do it. I don't know how you guys do it. It's just, I've become a weather pussy. I really have. That's like, it looks gray outside. I don't even want to go outside. It's true.
We're doing
Good weather report brought to you by Smell the Glove podcast.
Dude, I wouldn't make it in Glasgow. I wouldn't.
It's cold.
It's cold. It's cold. I'm staying home. Today's an off day from school. Why? Because it's cloudy outside. That's how weak I am. But anyway, so Rev, what else you got? Anything else?
No, nothing fun.
Nothing fun. Chris, you were just telling us a couple to say I had a few choice words for the SFA, so I figured our outro music would be for you.
Fantastic.
So what choice words do you have for the SFA?
Fuck the SFA.
That's right. Fuck the SFA. All right, everybody. Thanks. Hail, everyone. Take care. Chris, hail, brother. Rev?
Hello, buddy.
Hail, guys. Everyone, we'll talk to you later. Take care, everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye.
mistakes, it's all you can say. But the countless decisions that never go away. I said, hey, 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 fuck the SFA. You say that we're paranoid, we know what you say. You'll never stop us singing about the IRA. I said, hey, 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 fuck the SFA. You say that we're all paranoid, but we know what you say. Fuck the SFA. Cheers.